Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 060, Topics in Developmental Mathematics, Section 3.5, Problem 20. This is Section 3.5, Problem 20. It says Steve weighs 182 pounds. So this would be the same Steve as in the previous problem that was 70 inches tall. So he weighs 182 pounds. If there are 2.2 pounds per kilogram, what is Steve's weight in kilograms? And like the previous question, it says round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So what we have to do is divide. We have to divide 2.2 divides into 182 and see how many times it goes in. Now, the way the number in front of the division symbol is written, 2.2, I can't leave the decimal between the twos. I have to move it as far to the right as possible, so it has to move over one spot to the right so that I have a 22 in front of the division symbol. So if I move it one spot to the right for the number in front of the division symbol, I have to also move it one spot to the right for the number under the division symbol. So it was 182, no decimal was written. You can assume the decimal was at the end of the 182. So to move it one spot, you have to fill in a 0. So now instead of 2.2 divided into 182, it's the same problem to make it 22 divided into 1,820. It's going to be the same answer. This way I can do it and not worry about the decimal. So essentially you can just assume the problem started 22 divides into 1,820. And whatever we get for an answer, I want it to the nearest hundredth. So in other words, nearest hundredth, I want two places after the decimal. One place after is tenths, two places is hundredths. So I'm going to want to round it so I have the two places after the decimal. So to start, 22 won't go into 18. 18 is not big enough. So 22 into 182. Let's see. 9's probably too big, so let's do 8. So 8 times 2 is 16. Write the 6, carry the 1. 8 times 2 is 16 again, plus the one that we carried is 17. So that's good, actually. So 182 minus 176 is going to be 6. Bring down the next digit that's over to the right so that 0 comes straight down. I have 60. 22 divides into 60. Well, times 3 would be a little too big. It'd be 66, so it has to be 2. So 2 times 22 will be 44. I'm just doubling it, or you can do 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times next 2 is 4. 60 minus 44. 0 minus 4 won't go, so you can borrow from the 6, make it a 5. Write the 0 as a 10. 10 minus 4 will go, that's 6. And then next to it, 5 minus 4 is 1. So I have 16. So now I've gotten to the end of the digits under the division symbol, but it didn't go in evenly. I have to keep going, but there are no more digits left. So you can really figure that there's a decimal at the end of the 1820 and a 0 after it. Again, essentially that 0 is really there. We just don't bother to write it. And now we can bring it straight down. And when we do, we put the 0 next to the 16 that we got before, and it becomes 160. Now we want to see how many times will 22 go into 160. Well, I know if it was just 20, not 22, it would go in 8 times perfectly. So 22 is a little bigger than that, so it's going to have to be 7. And let's not forget, I want to bring that decimal straight up from the number below the division symbol into my answer. So 7 times 22, 7 times 2 is 14. Write the 4, carry the 1. There's already 1 there. 7 times 2 is 14 again, plus the 1 more that I carried is 15. So now 160 minus 54 is 6. So I had that before. So if I have 6, it'll go in twice. 2 times 22 is 44. And then the same thing is going to happen. If I subtract, it's going to be 16. I'm kind of out of room there. Bring down the next 0, 160, same as before. So it'll go in 7. It's going to seem to set up a pattern. But anyway, I don't have to go any further. I want to round to 2 places after the decimal. So 82.72, that's 2 places after, the nearest hundredth. But I have to go one more position, because if the next one, the third one out, is 0 through 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, I would just chop it off at 82.72. But if the third digit after the decimal is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, this gets bumped up to 82.73, which is the case, and then I chop off the rest. So my final answer is 82.73. Now again, this isn't just an abstract division problem. This is an actual application problem with units of measure. So I can't just leave a number as my answer. It has to be a number with the units of measure. So we're looking for kilograms. What's Steve's weight in kilograms? His weight is 82.73 kilograms. So if he weighs 182 pounds, that's the same as 82.73 kilograms.